off. Shot clock down to 4. Clark get it off in time. She will not. It's a shot clock violation.
It's really loud tonight.
Clark, the hesitation, draws the foul. Are looking to get the taste out of their mouth from a difficult night against the Golden State Valkyries. Here's Caitlin Clark on the drive, sets up Boston, and she's got Indiana circling around, looking for help. Shot clock down to 4. She finds it in the form of Clark, and her bank shot stays down.
That's the real estate I'm talking about right there. VG's going to get called for an offense.
So too will Alicia Gray, who's had an MVP caliber year to start 2025. Jones backs inside, spins away from Howard. Kick out Canada, who knocks down a 3. Defense in the WNBA under Carl Smesko, first-year head coach, has revolutionized this offense. And Ryan Howard, Mac Mitchell is just 5 threes away from catching. As Canada scoops it up, good defense by Hull, but Jones on the follow.
And right now,
and the Beaver, who were cold from the throw, to just 31% against Golden State. And Ryan Howard, early timeouts here for Stephanie Whites.
Ryan Howard.
Schedule ahead.
I think Carl shift.
Here is Kelsey Mitchell, third All-Star appearance, is coming next week. Bounce past McDonald, and a good find from Boston.
End off, and then dump it off for the cut to the bucket on the curl.
As Canada gets inside and
Dribble pen worrying about the action.
And a hot and cold season for the Fever defensively, as Mitchell splashes home a 3. Mitchell cut off by Gray.
Really good defense by Gray.
There's Howard into Griner late. Now a quick word from State Farm. Been hit awkwardly. McDonald slow to get up there on the loose ball. Who's really showing off her defensive acumen here in the first quarter. Shots that they normally make on Wednesday, just 61 points. That shot clock's been winding down a lot for Atlanta, but at least Cunningham tries to save it. And off the shoes tops of Griner. A couple hustle plays there by...
What Indiana gets with Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull is all out hustle at that 3. Caitlin Clark has hit the deck multiple times in this game already. Groin injury she's been dealing.
Back end available.
What an incredible.
Jones off the mark on her first free throw attempt. She signed in the offseason after 8 years in Connecticut. Played the 7th month. Had an iconic run with the Sun. And that was just her second shots. Clark. Dantas connects.
Clark sets that up.
Missing on a 3. Indiana's had a ton of good looks.
Both these teams are playing so hard. Ryan Howard. Just keep our fingers crossed everything's okay.
Caldwell drives on Cunningham, puts on the brakes. Pretty move. Caldwell. Mitchell crosses up Caldwell, gets inside and lays it in.
Mitchell, there's nobody quicker with the ball in her hands.
Canada's high on that list too, feeding Jones inside. Cunningham gets her hands in there, and Cunningham was on the bottom of that collision. Very few have ever put together before in the backcourt. Clark on the bench right now. She's played 9 minutes. Still maybe a little bit of a pitch count for her as Gray can't connect by Bree Jones.
Bree Jones doing her
free throw line. And now a quick word from State Farm. Here back on the floor here as Caldwell can't connect on the 3 ball. Hillman with the offensive rebound. We're still waiting for Caitlin Clark to really take off here after that groin injury. There's Jordan Canada. Dantas starting a second possession here for Indiana. Dangerous pass by Hull. And Caldwell jumps the passing lane and lays it in. There's Canada with the shot clock down to 5. Runs into a wall, forces it up, and gets it to go.
Wow.
The bounce. She's had a few of those, just haven't stuck. Ryder 0 for 6 on the evening.
You got to go to work right here.
Howard Howard trying to spin away from Hillman, lost the handle. Bounce pass into traffic. Mitchell pulls it down and lays it in. 8-point lead, but it has been within a possession or two ever since. And Jordan Canada, who's been red hot, misses there. Hillman the offensive rebound. Canada tries again and connects.
Jordan Campbell's in the first half. That's the definition of...
Here is Clark trying to answer for Indiana. The hesitation. Canada sticks right with her. Mitchell launches and hits a three.
That action is...
Howard pulls down the rebound and Clark feet inside. Mitchell with the reverse.
What?
Or if not the best backcourt in the WNBA. But Jordan Canada continues to dial. She's got 21 points. Boston, she'll answer with a triple. It's a good old-fashioned shootout.
Not quite horse, but it's close. A bit of ball pressure. Jordan Canada, go ahead, set yourself up for another one.
Griner on the runner, and this time gets the roll. Her first bucket here of the evening.
Well, immediately jumps.
Mitchell turns the corner, lost the handle. Guess who with the steal? Jordan Canada.
Just pull up and shoot it, absolutely.
Does she have 6? You bet.
Come on.
Jordan Canada red hot here in the first half. Caldwell comes up with the steal. Here's Canada, back to Hillman. Canada floats it up and floats it in. A 20. And the Jordan Canada first half has reached its conclusion. A stunning display of offensive brilliance. First possession getting inside, and Canada misses on a 3-ball. So 6 of 10 from the three-point line. Jordan Canada here tonight. Mitchell turns the corner, gets inside, bounces. Howard flips it in. Much better. A little out of rhythm as she works her way back into full strength, and that's been a challenge for her. It's been a challenge for the Fever. Strong on that 3-ball. All pulls it down. 3 blue jerseys are back. All into the teeth of the defense. Clark fading and hitting. Almost a sarcastic look to the heavens. She
was talking about her footwork and her balance and how some of that's been affected by her injuries.
Griner, good position on Howard. Miss on a 3. Oh, she got a good look and she's frustrated with herself there. Canada the other direction. Indiana gets back defensively. Howard from Clark range.
Penetration is outstanding.
Clark hit the deck a little slow to get up. Kelsey Mitchell, beautiful work on the baseline, lays it in. Is there a foul in there as well? It is so
time. Really well done by the Fever.
Thank you. And Kelsey Mitchell finished third quarter. Boston to a cutting hole.
Another nice job. That dribble at backdoor action.
Out on the 3-point shots. And they're going to take a look at this to see. Who is 8th in the league and just notched her 9th 20-point game of the season. She is.
So this is a good sign for Indiana because the difference between the games earlier were free throws.
What a showdown. The Indiana Fever and Atlanta Dream delivered a nail-biting battle that had fans on the edge of their seats from start to finish. With momentum swinging wildly, fierce defense locking in, and rising stars stepping up when it mattered most, this game turned into one of the most intense matchups of the season. If you thought you've seen it all this year, think again, because this one had it all. This thrilling contest took place on a high-stakes night in the WNBA season, as the Indiana Fever faced off against the Atlanta Dream in a matchup that could shift playoff momentum. With both teams fighting to solidify their standings, every possession counted. Indiana came into this game looking to bounce back from recent losses, while Atlanta was riding the wave of a strong winning streak. The Fever's star rookie, alongside their experienced backcourt, was ready to take on the Dream's aggressive offense and fast-paced style. From tip-off, it was clear this wasn't just another game. It was a statement battle. The opening quarter set the tone for an intense and fast-paced battle. Indiana came out with aggressive energy, pushing the ball in transition and attacking the paint early. Their ball movement looked sharp, and they quickly grabbed a slight lead behind a couple of clean mid-range jumpers and a confident three-pointer. But Atlanta wasn't backing down. They answered with strong perimeter shooting and forced a few early turnovers to even things out. The Dream's defense tightened midway through the quarter, slowing Indiana's rhythm just enough to create opportunities at the other end. As the clock ticked down, both teams traded buckets in a back-and-forth sequence, leaving the first quarter tightly contested and setting the stage for an unpredictable game that as the second quarter began. The intensity only grew. Atlanta turned up the pressure on defense, applying full-court traps and closing passing lanes, which forced Indiana into a few rush possessions. But the Fever stayed composed, relying on smart decision-making and timely cuts to break through the pressure. One of Indiana's key guards began to heat up, knocking down back-to-back shots and shifting the momentum slightly in their favor. Atlanta responded with sharp execution on the offensive end, running set plays that led to easy looks under the basket and a few wide-open corner threes. The game remained neck and neck, with both teams refusing to give an inch. By the time the halftime buzzer sounded, the scoreboard reflected just how tightly contested the first half had been, setting up a dramatic second act. The third quarter opened with a surge of energy from both sides, but it was Indiana who struck first. They came out of the locker room with purpose, tightening their defense and converting stops into fast break points. One of their forwards made a statement early, blocking a shot on one end and finishing a tough layup on the other. That sequence sparked a mini run, giving the Fever a narrow lead. Atlanta, however, quickly regrouped. They adjusted their offense, moving the ball with more pace and finding open shooters on the perimeter. A pair of three-pointers from the Dream erased the deficit, flipping the momentum back in their direction. The physicality increased as both teams battled for control, with each possession growing more intense. As the third quarter ended, the score remained close, and the tension heading into the final period was at an all-time high. The fourth quarter delivered everything a basketball fan could hope for: grit, drama, and heart-pounding moments. Indiana opened strong with a quick burst, fueled by shot ball movement and a crucial three-pointer that reignited their bench. But Atlanta refused to fade. They answered with tough drives to the rim and consistent execution from the free throw line, keeping the game within a single possession. With under 5 minutes left, both teams went back and forth, trading buckets and defensive stops. Every shot mattered, every rebound became a battle. In the final minute, with the game tied, a key steal by Indiana led to a fast break layup, putting them ahead by 2. Atlanta had a chance to respond, but their final attempt from deep rimmed out. The Fever secured the rebound and ran down the clock, sealing a thrilling and hard-fought victory in a game that felt like a playoff preview. This game saw several standout performances on both sides, but a few names truly rose above the rest. For Indiana, their rookie sensation led the way with an all-around performance, finishing with over 20 points, multiple assists, and key rebounds in clutch moments. Her composure under pressure was unmatched. Another Fever player made a huge impact on the defensive end, recording multiple steals and a game high in blocks that shifted momentum at crucial times. On the Atlanta side, their leading scorer poured in points efficiently, hitting timely threes and keeping her team within striking distance until the final minute. The Dream's floor general also dished out several assists, showing great court vision and leadership. Statistically, the game was balanced across most categories, but Indiana's edge in turnovers, force, and fast break points proved to be the difference maker. The defining moment of the game came in the final minute, with the score tied and both teams locked in a tense standoff. Indiana's defense rose to the occasion as one of their veteran guards anticipated a pass, jumped the lane, and came up with a clean steal. Without hesitation, she pushed the ball up the court and finished at the rim with a contested layup, giving the Fever a narrow lead. That single play not only broke the deadlock, but also shifted the energy in Indiana's favor when it mattered most. It was a perfect mix of instinct, timing, and poise, and it turned out to be the turning point that sealed the victory. This win was more than just another notch in the victory column for Indiana. It was a statement. Coming out on top in such a tight, high-pressure game showed their growth, resilience, and readiness to compete at a higher level. It also gave them a much-needed boost in the standings, tightening the playoff race and putting them in a stronger position moving forward. For Atlanta, the loss stings, but their performance showed they are still a dangerous team with depth and grit. Both squads walked away with lessons, but Indiana walked away with a win, and that could be the spark they need as the season intensifies. What a battle between two hungry teams. If you enjoyed this intense showdown between the Indiana Fever and Atlanta Dream, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more WNBA highlights and breakdowns. Let us know in the comments, who was your player of the game, and what was your favorite moment? Don't miss the upcoming matchups, because this season is only getting better from here. Stay locked in. We've got more action coming your way.